Hi to everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight as we talk about poop. Sam, I want to thank you and a mom around town for hosting this event. I would like to start off by saying that I am not a doctor, and the FDA has not approved anything that I'm speaking on tonight at this point. I'm just a mom of 3 boys who wants what all moms want, a healthy family. We are going to do a giveaway, and we will talk about that here at the end. But we're going to give away a kid's multivitamin and probiotic for everyone who tunes in and watches. So stay tuned to the end of this recording, and then you'll hear the details. Okay, so here's a little about me and my background. My husband, boys, and I live in an old farmhouse in Crestwood, Missouri. We enjoy playing outside. We love our very sweet rescue puppy named Murray, which I am going to show you all a picture of him because he is so cute. There he is. Can you see?
Oh.
Does he pop up? Okay, good. There's Murray. And he's a sweet little guy. And let's see, we have a floppy-eared bunny. I'm going to put my family's picture up here now. All right, there's my family. Okay, so we also have a bunch of chickens, produce some fresh eggs, so that's awesome. I've always been drawn to anything to do with health. I love it. My day job is actually with my family's jewelry business, and I do gut health focus work in the afternoons and evenings. My husband and I are coming up to 10 years of marriage this fall, and we met actually playing soccer, and we still play on the same recreational team to this day, which is awesome. I'm going to close these slides here. Okay. All right. Our boys are hilarious and exhausting. Their ages are 4.5, almost 3. I'm going to put another picture of them up here. And just turned 1. That's why I haven't slept in 5 years. So that's why I look like I do tonight. So I'm going to try to use as many slides as possible so you all don't have to see me. I have so many stories, and I do share some of them on Facebook that only another mom can hear and laugh at. And if you don't believe me, find me on Facebook and read it for yourself, because my boys don't disappoint, I promise. Okay, so enough about me. Let's talk about what we're all here for, and that's our guts. All right, so gut health is a popular and, dare I say, trendy topic, and I am actually so happy that it is. I believe, along with many much more qualified professionals, that gut health is the link or the root cause to many issues in our bodies. Since this topic of gut health is so broad, today we're going to focus on kids and poop. But first, I'm going to give you just a very brief overview of what gut health is. I'm going to go ahead and find the next slide here for you, so bear with me for a second. Okay. Okay, so the gut, here we're going to show a brief, I'm sorry, give me 1 second. There we go. Okay. All right, so your gut, AKA your gastrointestinal tract, is the system that turns food into nourishment for your body. The gut actually begins in your mouth, which a lot of people don't know, and it runs through your throat, through the stomach, into the small and large intestine, as this basic diagram shows you. The gut is responsible for putting our body into working order. As it breaks down the food we eat, our gut absorbs nutrients that support our body's function. So from like energy production to hormone balance, skin health to mental health, and even eliminate waste and toxins. So 70% or more of our immune system actually originates in the gut. So making sure that our digestive system is in tip-top shape can be key to addressing many of our problems. Okay. If you are not pooping regularly, you could be holding on to food that you ate for days or even weeks. So normally it takes 24 to 72 hours for food to move through the digestive tract. So if waste is hanging around longer than that, it means that it's like putrefying inside of our bodies. And that's one of the causes of like smelly gas and a lot of other health problems. We'll talk more on that in a minute. First, we're going to talk quickly about our microbiome. The human microbiome is actually just a fancy word for the trillions of bacteria that inhabit the human gastrointestinal tract, along with the mouth and skin. Though it sounds much like the gut, it's actually a broader term, but goes hand in hand with the gut. I think of it as like the gut's on the inside and the microbiome is the inside and the outside. Okay, so weighing in at a whopping 3 to 5 pounds per person, these bacteria help control the immune system, which we already talked about a little bit, and determining things such as whether you or your child has an allergic reaction to a peanut and how effectively he or she or you fights off a cold or virus. All right, so in addition, the microbiome is involved in regulating metabolism and weight gain. And many studies are now connecting the gut to the brain, which is called the brain-gut connection, meaning that it could influence mood and potentially protect you or your child from mental health disorders. Some of them are like autism, depression, that's just to name a few. I really do hope that I can come back and speak on that in the future because there are so many awesome things that are happening in that world. So unlike the human genome, which is fixed at conception, the human microbiome is a product of lifestyle and environment. It's most malleable during infancy and childhood. Let's see. By the time that your kids will reach school age, the general makeup of their microbiome has actually already been established, and it can last, it will stay with them for years, decades, or even their entire life. So fortunately, nurturing your kid's microbiome doesn't have to be hard. So here is a really fun fact that I learned. There are roughly 40 trillion bacterial cells in your body and only 30 trillion human cells, which means you are more bacteria than human. I can actually believe that when I look at my kids. Okay, so let's take a look at some causes of your gut health to get out of whack. Here's another slide. So let's go through this. So we have GMO or pesticide sprayed foods, chronic infection like strep, Lyme disease, ear, bladder, yeast infection, chronic stress, dietary toxins like wheat and industrial seed oil like soybean and canola oil, diets that are high in refined carbs, sugars, and processed foods, diets low in fermented fibers, antibiotics, birth control pills, and such. There's another slide that I would like to post up here for you to look at as I go into a few other things. This one here is a good one. Okay, so this is more of some other symptoms that you can have if your gut health is off. Okay, so now we are going to focus on one aspect of the gut health. Even though they're all interconnected, we're going to talk about how gut health bacteria can either help or prevent your child from keeping regular bathroom habits. Okay, since the dietary fiber, that is one of the things that feed the good bacteria. If your child is not getting enough of the plant-based complex carbohydrate, it is really ugly what happens. The gut bacteria will literally start eating away the mucus that lines and protects the inner walls of the intestine. If the bacteria gets too close to these walls, it actually sets off alarm bells, if you will, within the immune system. It results in just an overwhelming state of inflammation that can lead to autoimmune disorders such as inflammatory bowel disease, allergies, and asthma. That's just to name a few. We're gonna show a kid here on the slide. Okay, there we go.
Mel, what'd you say was the what are they lacking that causes all of that?
If they're not getting enough of the plant-based complex carbohydrates.
Okay.
Okay. So if your child's diet is too rich in processed foods, this too can cause inflammation in the lining of the GI tract, the exact place where our food is actually absorbed. So the gut may not recognize what was eaten as digestible food and instead interprets the presence of the food, like high fructose corn syrup or artificial ingredients, as like an attacker. This is what sets off the inflammatory response, in which our bodies are literally fighting these foods as if they were an infection. So inflammation is our natural response to fighting an infection, like when we are cut or sick. That's how God designed us. If the inflammatory response is signaled and there is no infection to fight, that's where the white blood cells swarm around and there's nowhere to go. That's when they start attacking us, and that's how autoimmunes are born. Okay, so it's important to remember that these young bodies are so pure and respond so quickly to their environment. This can be a really good and a really bad thing. Since poop is one of the human body's natural elimination process, it's easy to pick up on when it's not functioning properly. I believe that this is one of the first steps that something is off in the gut, at least in children. So why do kids get constipated? I'm going to review what are some of the common causes of poor gut health in children. Okay. If I pause for a second, it's because I'm trying to screen share while I'm talking, and I'm not good at multitasking sometimes. All right. So again, this list is really basic and is in no way complete or should be used for diagnosis. All right. So number one is going to be poor diet. This includes too much sugar, carbs, and processed foods. Sugar is so very bad for everyone, and I am sorry because I was a sugaraholic, so I totally understand. We're going to show a little kid here. Anyway, now what I'm not talking about is like natural sugars found in like whole fruits and veggies or honey, and there's like a couple of other natural sources of sugar. But like refined sugars, they create the inflammation, which is equivalent to gasoline for a fire. So sugar to inflammation, gasoline to a fire. And sugar is literally found in almost everything. So I Google searched the different names of sugar, and there were over 42 names for it. So we're going to shift here. GMOs are also really bad. GMO stands for genetically modified organisms. So a lot of our fruits and veggies, mainly vegetables, I think there's some fruits, and then like a lot of nuts and wheat, corn, soybeans, like those are some of the top. GMOs have been altered on the DNA level, and it leaves our bodies wondering what we just ate and how to process it. This is a whole nother topic, and I want to like actually do some videos on that in the future. Beyond GMOs are the foods that are heavy laden with herbicides and pesticides. They are horrible for maintaining proper gut bacteria. I have a slide here that's going to show you something called the Dirty Dozen. This is a list that is put out every single year in the spring, and it is the top 12 foods that are just completely laden with pesticides and herbicides, and they are recommended that you buy these foods organic. I'm going to share a link at the end of this presentation so that you can go next year and find the list. So they have the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. The Clean 15 are foods that have the least amount of herbicides and pesticides for this particular year. Now, this is a recommendation to buy organic, and it is solely based on the levels of harmful chemicals being sprayed on them, no other factor. So there are other reasons why buying organic is beneficial. This is literally just for the chemicals that are being sprayed on them. Okay, so with most children, So with most children having taken an antibiotic by the age of 2, restoring the good bacteria in the gut is actually pretty vital. Antibiotics, as you probably well know, kill all bacteria inside the gut, except for yeast bacteria called Candida. Candida, we're going to show you here that Candida has a whole host of issues as well that it causes. Bear with me as I try to find that slide. Maybe it's not here. Okay, well, I will share the Candida list at the end as well. But the bad bacteria is known for all sorts of harmful issues once given any amount of space in the gut. And there is a way to kill the Candida. I will share that with you here in a little bit. It causes a lot of issues. I wish I had the slide. For some reason, it didn't save on my computer. A lot of them overlap with some of the other symptoms that I had before, and that's just because Candida is so linked to many gut health problems. You can also just Google search Candida yeast overgrowth, and you'll see all the symptoms yourself of what it causes. The third thing that I'm highlighting about bad bacteria and how it starts is stress, poor sleep habits, frequent or chronic illnesses. Now, these issues seem like they are adult problems, but studies are showing that more and more children are experiencing these toxic producing habits and issues. Okay, so this list can have you feeling overwhelmed and maybe somewhat helpless. Please stay with me. It is in no way my intention to leave you feeling this way. I, too, experienced this overwhelming feeling. I would like to share with you my story and what I did. Okay, so my oldest child is a good fruit and veggie eater. He keeps very healthy habits, yet when he was around the age of 2, he struggled with constipation. I did what most mothers do, and I called my doctor's office, my pediatrician's office. The first thing the nurse suggested was to try Miralax. I paused on the phone and asked if there was any other recommendations. I would use Miralax as a last resort, but not the first. She did give me a handful of other natural remedies. Then they helped, but they did not take care of the problem. So this is when I began doing research on my own on gut health. Selfishly, I didn't want to go through the heartache so many parents go through trying to figure out how to help their children. I also did not want my child on Miralax. I had done a little bit of reading on it and just did not like what I was finding. I was also somewhat concerned that I couldn't pinpoint like one specific reason for why my son was struggling. What I do know is that our children's environment is over-sterilized. Some dirt is necessary. People say like they need to eat dirt. I know that's kind of weird, but in some ways I kind of agree a little bit. And because we have bacteria like on the outside of our skin, when we use antibacterial like anything, it's killing not just the bad bacteria, but the good along with it. So like our shampoos and like our household cleaners, the pesticides and fertilizers used in our yards, or hand sanitizer, these all play a role in like our microbiome and the bacteria that's on us. So these things were and still are affecting my kids and your kids. So I already mentioned that I'm a working mom. I try to find balance in all things. I believe that it is so important to find balance. As much as I strive to eat clean as possible, eliminate toxins from our personal environment, I still have a long way to go. We still eat sugar. We own chips. For my family, this will probably never change. I want to take steps that will impact our health and wellness, but they need to be small and manageable steps. If I give myself too big of a goal and it's too hard, I won't stay with it. I would like to share with you what I've learned in restoring our kids' gut bacteria to a proper balance. So let's talk about some natural ways that you can feed the good bacteria. So the good bacteria thrives on dietary fiber, the complex carbohydrates found in plants. So feed your child diet rich in fruits and vegetables and whole grains and nuts and legumes. That all helps a lot to keep the nourishment of the good bacteria. If your child or your children are like one of mine, it's almost impossible to get them to eat these foods. My almost 3-year-old, he would make a complete diet of donuts if he could. And I am not even kidding. This is also proof that children do not know what's best for them and they need their parents to guide them. Here are some ideas of things that I do that help take yucky foods and turn them into something that my kids eat. So something that's really basic is hummus. Hopefully most of you have heard of that. I'm Lebanese, and so that's like a staple in the Lebanese diet. It's really easy to make. Like, you don't even need to go buy it from the store. Like, it's so easy to make. I'm going to share a link. That's my Mel Tells Facebook page where I share the simple recipe, and I'll do that as we're wrapping up. So that I don't lose my place on what I'm doing here. But it's really easy. It takes like 5 minutes to make, and it is fantastic. My kids love dipping veggie straws, crackers, vegetables, and like chicken nuggets in hummus. So that's a good way to get some healthy stuff in there. I make pasta sometimes with veggie noodles. If your kids won't eat the veggie noodles, add like frozen veggie noodles with regular noodles. So remember, it's small steps that lead to big rewards with children. I mix like squash noodles that are frozen, that are like twirly, into the pasta that I'm cooking. And my kids don't even know it. After I pour some spaghetti sauce on it, they can't tell. And so then they're getting some vegetables in with their spaghetti. The pasta sauce also is amazing for adding vegetables. So you can cook some carrots, sweet potatoes, or any other vegetable that you want. I blend mine so that there's no chunks at all, and then I just add it to the sauce. Have you ever tried honey carrots? Honey carrots is amazing. Just take some carrots, peel them, cut them up, drizzle honey, some butter, throw them in the oven until they're tender. They taste awesome. These same honey carrots can also be blended up and added to ground meat, and it makes a really sweet meatball or hamburger. I also will add like cooked peas and sometimes some avocado. Just make sure not to add too much avocado because it'll make it bitter. So there's a whole, like just get creative, and it's amazing, just a little bit at a time, and it feels good that they're eating vegetables and they have no idea. Okay, so my kids love this chicken fried rice from Sam's, and I am sure it is not very healthy. As I said, sometimes I get home from work and it is like past their lunchtime and they are starving, and I have like 5 minutes before it all breaks loose, you know what I mean? And they all need naps, and so I've got to make lunch quick. And if I didn't prep the night before, which sometimes doesn't happen, we pull out the Sam's chicken fried rice. I started adding vegetable rice to it, and I did a little bit at a time. They don't detect it at all. And now I am up to more veggie rice than I am fried rice. So we're getting vegetables in there, and eventually I'll start adding my own ingredients, and then they won't even know that they're not eating Sam's chicken fried rice. Okay, so organic and sprouted grain breads are really helpful. It's really important because wheat is so genetically modified to try to buy that organic and not white bread. I know I love white bread. Sourdough bread's okay because it's fermented. But I know that the organic and sprouted can be a little bit expensive, but it's totally worth the extra cost. And if you want some ideas on like what brand to buy and where to buy it, comment or reach out to me afterwards, and I will tell you what I do. Okay, so we're on the go a lot. Sometimes the kids want a snack bars such as like Lara bars. they can offer a great taste with only a couple of ingredients. Make sure to read the labels because within the same brand, you can have something that has like 3 or 4 really whole great ingredients and then another box that has like 10 and a lot of added sugar. So read your labels. Make sure that you're trying to minimize the sugar as much as possible. I also have, I gotta show you this picture, a chocolate mousse recipe that is outstanding. I tried this out and it's sweetened with honey and the base is actually avocado. Here's my second son. This is the son that's super picky and he loves this. It is super creamy, super delicious, avocado based, guys. It's amazing. That's also on my Mel Tells Facebook page. If you go to that page and just Google chocolate mousse, this picture will probably pop up along with the recipe. And it's, again, like 6 ingredients, if I remember correctly. All right, so bananas and other fruit or sweet veggies can be baked into muffins. So a lot of times I'll do like banana, sweet potato, carrots, like stuff that kind of complements each other. Pumpkin is awesome. I do add mini dark chocolate chips to my muffins to ensure that my kids are going to eat the muffins that I make. And in all honesty, chocolate, especially dark chocolate, is probably one of the better sweet treats that you can do. So you don't have to feel super terrible about it. Pear juice is easier on the tummy than prune juice, so keep that handy as well. And then fluids in general could be a reason for why your child isn't pooping. So water, 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 water. Okay, so this gives you a start, gives you some ways that your kids will hopefully find some healthy alternatives to add to their diet for things that maybe you can replace that aren't so good for them. But if your kids are like my oldest, this did not stop his constipation problem. Or maybe your child has the leaky gut issue and they are pooping too much or have diarrhea. So then what? Okay, so let's talk about that here in a second. What I want to share first is at this point, whenever I was on my search, I was also in the market for a quality probiotic. I knew that just buying it off the shelf at like Target may not bring the results that I was looking and paying for. So there's a whole lot that factors into that. The bottling process, what fillers are used with the live bacteria, how are they making like the capsule or whatever form it's in, how many live bacteria actually make it until they get from the processing, bottling, shipping, sitting on the shelf, going through our mouth through 98 degrees into our gut, and then being, hopefully some of it's being absorbed. These are all things that I was considering. I was currently taking or trying to take a probiotic that was from a local pharmacy that was refrigerated, but because it was in the refrigerator and it was out of sight, out of mind, I literally forgot it more than I didn't. Okay, so this is what transitioned into how I found out about the products that we use now. A friend of mine shared a story about her daughter. This little girl had severe constipation for years. She was 6 years old when it was so bad that her parents had to tag team the bathroom horror with her. Whichever parent was with her, and this is what they told me out of their own mouth, they said that the bathroom was just full of her screaming in agony. And inevitably, every single time this happened, which was every time she tried to poop, one of her, whatever parent was with her, would leave the bathroom in tears, and the other one had to like go in and take over. She had seen doctors, specialists. She was up to 3, count that out, 3 capfuls of Miralax each day. Now that is a lot of Miralax for a 6-year-old. She was a little girl, like a little thing. So my friend was distraught, to say the least, and she was absolutely desperate to find something to help her daughter find relief. That's when she found some gut health products that were recommended to her by another mutual friend whose twin boys had poop troubles too, except theirs were the opposite. They had poop leaking all the time. So within the first week, this little girl found her forever relief and was able to have a normal elimination experience for the first time. No more screaming, pain, or agony. She became regular without harmful meds, which is awesome. And her body, as most children, responded quickly to this new supplement, and her entire family got in on it. Her mom actually took the supplement to the pediatrician at their next visit and told them what had gone on, and the pediatrician approved it. So that is awesome. So my friend told me just how amazing it is to see her daughter years later just thriving in life, and she didn't realize how sick her daughter actually looked until now that she's healthy, and she looks back and it just really had taken a toll on her. So she was just so incredibly thankful to have found something that worked. And the twin boys, who also had the leaky poop and they weren't able to be potty trained, they used the same supplements, and that's what corrected their problem as well. So I heard the story and I wanted in. I wanted something that was safe and natural, and I wanted to know more about it. I also had intense sugar cravings, and they controlled me instead of me being able to control them. And I learned that these same products were going to help me as well as my son. So I really wanted to check that out. And a little side note, this is kind of off topic, but I had no idea the gigantic list of gut health issues that I actually suffered from until after I started the gut health products, because I thought I was a healthy person. And once I started them and things start going away that I just thought was normal, it blew my mind. So as soon as I got my products, I gave some to my son. Within the same day, he pooped, and I was a believer. All right, so what did I give him? Let me show you. Let me also tell you that I had never heard of this gut health company called Plexus. They are a health and wellness company. Here's the ProBio 5, which is their probiotic, and the Bio Cleanse, which sounds like it's a cleanse, but it's something that you can take all the time. It's not habit forming. But I wasn't interested in being sold products or selling anything. I just wanted facts, and I wanted to know why this worked and other things that I had tried didn't, especially other probiotics. Okay, so let's talk about what probiotics do. So clearly they replenish the good bacteria in the gut, assisting in restoring the intestine to the way God created it. There are many different strands of bacteria. We house over 500, and they all target like a different issue. So studies are still being conducted to learn more about this. And I know some doctors that are really getting excited. And my understanding is that the doctors really can't recommend anything specific until the studies are complete. So your doctor might tell you they recommend probiotics, but they probably won't tell you a specific kind. But just replacing the good bacteria isn't really enough. So the Candida yeast is a big time bully. It has a hard protective shell, kind of like shrimp, that keeps the good bacteria from combating it. This is a problem, and it would take a lot of time for the good bacteria to win the battle. The ProBio 5 that you see here actually has a special enzyme blend that targets the Candida, and it's able to break through the shell to eliminate it. It's absolutely amazing. I haven't personally found a probiotic that's on the market that's as good as this one. What I also love about it is that it's freeze-dried for maximum potency of the bacteria. And you can store it anywhere. So like I was forgetting mine in the refrigerator. I put this up in my bathroom so that after I brush my teeth, I just take my probiotics and go to bed. And you can open the capsules and like pour some of the probiotic out if you're not a pill person, like into yogurt or something. Okay, so I can't rave enough about the ProBio 5. It is my favorite probably product ever and I just love it. The Bio Cleanse that you see here as well, it has a powerful blend of oxygenated magnesium. So magnesium is really, really good for us. And like, it's a high number of people that are actually deficient in magnesium. When you oxygenate it, it takes it up a whole another notch of amazingness. So it actually oxygenates our blood in our system. And there's vitamin C that's also in here as well. So the combination is awesome. And it also helps to keep the environment inside of us from bad microbes. They cannot survive in that environment of oxygenated magnesium with the vitamin C. So the Bio Cleanse was actually designed to flush out the toxins by keeping you regular. And the magnesium draws water into the intestines, and that helps to gently stimulate regularity. That is also, these are more for like adults, but because of the capsules being able to be opened, you can use them for your kids. I'm also going to provide the link to these products at the end, so that you can go and read about them for yourself. Okay, so within the last I would say the last year and a half, I guess, Plexus came out with the kids probiotic and vitamin, which is what we're giving away here. I'm going to show you a picture of, there's the Kids X Factor. So this has the vitamin, it has 13 essential nutrients. It supports their brain and their bodies. And it has the immune system support with the probiotic, and each little it's not a capsule, it's a chewable, offers 2 billion CFUs. It's gluten-free, 100% vegetarian, non-GMO. It's free of eggs, dairy, fish, shellfish, peanuts, tree nuts, wheat, or soy, and it has no added sugar, which is awesome. My kids love this vitamin, and since I showed one of my kids, you kind of already got to see them, but here's the other one with his vitamin. Here he is. There's my oldest. That's when his arm was broken, poor little guy. Anyway, they ask for it every morning. It is like not morning if they don't get their little vitamin. And this is what we use for my kids, and this is what helps keep them regular and pooping every day. Now let's say that we have a big weekend where it's like birthday parties or whatever, and they're eating a lot of processed foods. That can create some problems. And if they get a little constipated, that's where I will pour a little bit of the ProBio 5 and the Bio Cleanse into like some yogurt or applesauce or something. So because the capsules are able to be opened, I can pour a little bit out. You don't need much, and it goes a really long way. And they respond within the day. It's crazy. Okay, so I right now would like to mention really quickly that the consistency of poop, even though it's gross, is really important. So you don't want rocks and you don't want too watery. Toothpaste consistency is key. So that's what you're going for here. All right. If you would like to learn more about the products that I'm talking about, please feel free to reach out to me. I am going to try to pull up my, hopefully this doesn't show up for you guys, but I'm going to start sharing some links now, so that I don't forget to do that. But I want to reiterate here that this is like my hobby. I love talking about this. I love doing this. I love walking alongside families and helping them. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I stay up and do research, and it's for my family, but I want to help others. Here's some of my contact info coming up here. My mail tells, my phone number, my email. I'm going to share some other links while we're talking. Okay, so let me tell you about a couple of a couple of special opportunities that I have going on. So anyone who purchases the X Factor Kids, that's through the link that I'm going to provide here. I am going to give you a special offer just for me for a future purchase. Anyone who's looking for results for themselves. So you have a kid, you want to look into stuff for them, but you also want something for you. If you schedule a consultation with me for the future, I will give you a free bottle of the Kids X Factor multivitamin and probiotic with a qualified order, or any product of your choosing up to $35. So if you want to just go ahead and buy the probiotic or whatever for the kids, and then you want to talk about yourself, and then you'll also have that $35 value. The wonderful thing about Plexus is that they offer a 60-day money-back guarantee, and that's huge. That's on every product. So you can try it out for 60 days, and if you don't like it, you can return and get all of your money back. That is pretty fantastic. I'm gonna share some more of the links that we talked about, and hopefully I try to keep them itemized so that it's easy to see what you're looking at here. Okay, so there's a bunch of them. Okay, so lastly, I am also looking for some product testers. I'm going to pull up the slide here so that you can actually look at that. So bear with me here a second. Okay. So I'm looking for product testers. Sam, I don't know if you're able to see. Nope. I may not have pulled up the right one, so give me a second here because I have everything open. Sam, are you able to see the product tester?
No, it's
okay.
on Zoom.
Okay. No worries. Here it comes. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right. So I have 3 groups that I'm looking for product testers. So an athlete performance pro pack, a weight loss or weight management combo, or energy, endurance, and balance. That's more hormonal. And each group has 3 levels, usually starting around $30. There's a whole lot of benefits for doing this. I'm throwing in tons of free products. There's a drawing. There's all sorts of stuff. So if you are interested in one of these groups, please reach out to me because they are fantastic. I have tried everything here and I love it. Sam, are there any questions that you have that you would like for me to answer, or have I covered most everything?
Is there an age on that? I think, did you say all of your kids take the probiotic? So I can give it to a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old?
So right now, if you're a nursing mom, whatever you're ingesting your baby is getting. So I want to say, I have the bottle here, that it's recommended at age 2 to start. Okay. But the little chewables are able to be cut in half. So if your kid's like 18 months, like I'll probably start doing that for my 12-month-old soon. He's 13 months and he does not want to be weaned. I need him to be weaned. But I'll probably start cutting that in half and letting him take that. So, but yes, I would say like definitely not before a year. On the bottle it says 2, but if you want to cut one in half when they're 18 months, there should not be an issue with that.
Gotcha. Okay, that was the big question I had.
Okay.